Yes. So, as we begin our session on the flawless vision, this Saturday, the 5th of February, we greet the absolute ones within each one of us with the deepest reverence that has the kind of reverence that has begun naturally within each one of us for each other. And
Vamos a comenzar nuestra sesión número 52 del 5 de marzo del 2022, reverenciando al ser absoluto que hay en cada uno de nosotros.
And we offer the three mantra for the suffering humanity, for the people and the human beings who are being displaced, in millions of people who are being displaced from their homeland in Ukraine.
Así que vamos a ofrecer el trimantra para todas las personas que tuvieron que salir de sus hogares y que están sufriendo en Ucrania.
Yes, so let us have Evangelina sing this three mantra, please. Jai Sachidanand.
Namo Vigrata, Namo Arihantana, Namo Siddhana, Namo Ayareyana, Namo Vasayanam, Namo Loe Savasavunam, Eso Panchanamuttaro, Savapavapanasano, Mangalanam Chasavesim, Paramam Havai Mangalam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Jai Satchidanand. Namo Vigrahaya. Namo Arihantana. Namo Siddhanam. Namo Ayareyana, Namo Vasayanam, Namo Loe Savasavanam, Eso Panchanamukkaro, Savapavapanasano, Mangalanam Chasavesim, Paramam Havai Mangalam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Jai Satchidanand. Namo Vigrahaya. Namo Arihantana, Namo Siddhana, Namo Ayareyana, Namo Vasayanam, Namo Loe Savasavanam, Eso Panchanamukkaro, Savapavapanasano, Mangalanam Chasavesim, Paramam Havai Mangalam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Jai Satchidanand. Jai Satchidanand. Satchitanam, Jai Satchitanam, Jai Satchitanam.
Jai Sachidanand. Thank you, my dear. Thank you. Dadashri has said that right understanding is that which finds the ability to correct evidences of pain. So when evidences of pain arise, the ability to correct it is called right understanding.
Yes.
That understanding which allows you to correct it is called right understanding.
Dadashri dijo que el correcto entendimiento es aquel que encuentra la habilidad para corregir el dolor. El correcto entendimiento nos permite corregir lo que produce dolor.
It is called samyak samjan. Samyak samjan is right understanding. You know, it is such a beautiful. It is it is much more than the intellect. You see, it is this this ability to kind of see the positive even in darkness, even in something that is very difficult and dark, you see.
Yes. Samyan es el correcto entendimiento. Dice, y es tan bello, dice Dadashri, ¿no? Y es mucho más que el intelecto. Es la habilidad de poder ver lo positivo, incluso en la oscuridad y los tiempos difíciles.
You know, our grandmothers who did not have much education, your and my grandmother, who did not have much education, had this ability, you know, through difficulties and adversities, they kept the family together, you see. They had the ability to make do with whatever little was available for the family. Smiled, you know, managed no matter what the difficulty, you know. Right?
Nuestras abuelas nuestras abuelas que no tenían tanta educación, tenían esta habilidad y juntaban a la familia, reunían a la familia y hacían lo posible por la familia, aunque sea cosas pequeñas, como por ejemplo sonreír.
In fact, deep inside every human being, this ability is there. You see, it is called Suj. It's called Suj. It is called that. It stems from the heart. It comes from the heart when things get rough in life. You see, when life. Yeah.
Está profundamente, todos los seres humanos tienen esta habilidad y se llama Sach. Y es una habilidad, algo que viene del corazón cuando las cosas se ponen difíciles.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to share the screen. And this is the Dadavani of July 2010. You see, we do this every.
Enjoy the pleasure or the good times. I don't remember the title because since February 12th we do not have satsang with you.
Yes.
Last favorable circumstances.
Yes.
We've done the bitter circumstances. We've done that.
Yeah. So. So maybe did we do this pure awareness in worldly life? Maybe we not have done this one.
The last one was enjoy the sweet times or
Bitter
pleasure.
circumstances can be made.
Yes.
This one we did, right? Bitter circumstances. Yeah. Right. Maybe then this one, love for favorable circumstances. This one.
Yes, that we've done. Yes, yes.
And now we come to bitter circumstances can be made sweet. This is
perfect today.
all right, Sanju. Okay. So
thank you.
And yes, bitter circumstances can be made sweet.
Las circunstancias amargas pueden volverse dulces.
All right. There are only two things in this world: circumstances, otherwise known as saiyog, circumstance, and saiyogi. That is the entity that has to face the circumstance. Saiyog, the circumstance, and the sayogi is the entity that has to face the circumstance. Now, if the sayogi is straightforward, so will be the circumstances. If you have to face a disagreeable circumstance, you have to immediately realize that because you had been disagreeable in the past, you now have to face a circumstance that it follows suit. There is no need to straighten out the circumstance again. Rather, become straight yourself. There are infinite circumstances. So when will they all become agreeable? People in the world try to make the circumstances agreeable. But if they were to become agreeable themselves, so if they themselves were to become agreeable themselves, so will the circumstances. If one becomes straightforward himself, he will still encounter circumstances that are disagreeable, but after a while the circumstances will change. When there is no superior above you, when there is no superior above you, why do you have to face disagreeable circumstance? It is because you had been disagreeable that you have to face disagreeable circumstances. If a person has dysentery, which is blood in the motion in the bowels, is his illness an immediate consequence of his neglect? No. The seeds of dysentery had been planted 12 years ago, which has now come into effect. And this effect has to break a 12-year-long mistake, does it not? If he does not make the same mistake again, he will not have dysentery again, will he? If you board a train and find it crowded, it is because you had created a cause for such an effect. If you come with a large load of baggage of karma, if you come with a large load of baggage of karma, if you come with a large load of baggage of karma, the circumstance you will be obliged to encounter. If you come with a large load of baggage of karma, the circumstances you will be obliged to encounter will be heavy. And if you come with a very light baggage of karma, your circumstances too will be agreeable. Your own mistakes are your superior. Do you have anything to fear anyone anymore once you understand this? No matter who sees us, they feel happy. Us means Dada. When we become cheerful, the other person will feel the same. They will happy. When we become cheerful, the other person will feel the same. One doesn't just feel happy and cheerful when he sees us. He becomes speechless and awed. The other person is your own reflection. Okay, now this whole thing is your Spanish translation, so I'll let you read, huh?
Ok. Hay solamente dos cosas en el mundo, saiyog, que es la circunstancia, y sayogi, es la entidad que debe enfrentar la circunstancia. Si el sayogi es sencillo, así serán las circunstancias. Si debes enfrentar una circunstancia desagradable, inmediatamente debes darte cuenta de que es porque en el pasado fuiste desagradable. No hay necesidad de enderezar las circunstancias, más bien enderézate a ti mismo. Existen infinitas circunstancias, entonces, ¿cuándo se volverán desagradables todas? Las personas tratan de hacer agradables las circunstancias, pero si se volvieran ellas agradables, también lo harían las circunstancias. Si uno se vuelve sencillo, encontrará circunstancias que son desagradables, pero después de un tiempo las mismas cambiarán. Si no hay un superior encima de ti, ¿por qué debes enfrentar circunstancias desagradables? Debes hacerlo porque antes fuiste desagradable. Y si una persona tiene disentería, es su enfermedad, una consecuencia inmediata de su negligencia. No, las semillas de la disentería que hoy se manifiestan habían sido plantados 12 años atrás. Y este efecto debe romper un error de 12 años, ¿no? Si no comete el mismo error, no volverá a tener disentería. Si abordas un tren y está lleno de gente, es porque habías creado una causa para tal efecto. Si vienes con una enorme carga de karma, las circunstancias que te verás obligado a enfrentar también serán pesadas. Y si vienes con poco peso, tus circunstancias también serán muy agradables. Tus propios errores son tu jefe. Would you please put the screen a little...
Sorry.
Thank you. Tus propios errores son tu jefe. ¿Hay algo más que puedas temer una vez que entiendas esto? Quien quiera que nos vea se sentirá feliz. Cuando estamos alegres, la otra persona siente lo mismo. Otro no simplemente se siente feliz y alegre cuando nos ve y quedará sin habla y asombrado. La otra persona es tu propio reflejo.
Practically. All right. So our Gnani Deepak Bhai has underlined the whole paragraph. In fact, he gives 11 lines. 11. You see, 11 lines. 11 keys of flawlessness. These are 11 keys of flawlessness. You see, all of the points that he describes are these are the keys of flawlessness. Means this, if you reflect upon it, that lets you become aware that the world is flawless. The reason for your suffering is your ignorance and wrong way of looking at the world. You see.
Yes.
So these are all.
El Gnani subrayó 11 líneas. Estas 11 líneas son las llaves para ver libres de faltas. Todo lo que describió es para que nos mantengamos conscientes que el mundo es libre de faltas. Cuando estamos en ignorancia o nuestra visión es incorrecta, vemos faltas.
Every circumstance, that comes in front of you, it can be agreeable or disagreeable. You see, and that is when you become the you have to face both of them, and therefore you become the saiyog. In other words, circumstance, and it becomes your circumstance. Your circumstance. It does not affect another person in your home. It does not affect. It does not even affect the closest person in your home. If the dentist cannot drill the tooth of anyone else in your home, only the one whose tooth is hurting.
Yes. Cada circunstancia que viene, sea agradable o no, es cuando nos volvemos saiyog y saiyogi, ¿no? Somos la circunstancia y la circunstancia que se presenta frente a nosotros. Y se presenta para nosotros, a ningún otro en la casa lo va a tocar, ni a las personas más allegadas. Esto es como cuando vas al dentista, el dentista va a arreglar tu diente, el de nadie más.
Every human being brings in this world his or her own saiyog, circumstance, you see. And yeah, and this, there is no, this is the important thing. This is the circumstances, you see. The circumstance have to be this circumstances can be understood first. The circumstance can be circumstances are suffered, number one. Number two, above the suffering is the understanding of the circumstance, and then even more or higher than the understanding of the circumstance is knowing the circumstance, you see. And in knowing the circumstance, you become free, you see. So that's the highest. This particular paragraph, bitter circumstances can be made sweet. You see, so this is the adjustment to the circumstances. Bitter circumstances can be made sweet. It's a lower level of adjustments, you see. Lower level of adjustment. This is for everyone, whether they have Gnan or not, whether they are enlightened or not.
Cada ser humano trae sus propias circunstancias, su saiyog. Las circunstancias pueden ser entendidas y ver el sufrimiento en un primer nivel. En un segundo nivel es entender las circunstancias, y en un nivel más elevado es conocer las circunstancias. Y en esto de poder conocer las circunstancias, que es lo más, nos libera porque es lo más elevado. Este párrafo nos enseña, nos muestra cómo podemos hacer un ajuste de las circunstancias amargas, Esto es para todas las personas, para las que hayan recibido el Gnan o no.
You see, this is the fundamental facts are right here, depending upon how, and that is that if right now in this life, if you or I have to face very difficult circumstance, very difficult and disagreeable circumstance, it shows that we had made it so in the past life. It is our own that is coming in this life, you see. It is not anyone else that is doing that, you see. It is not anyone else that is doing it. It is our own that is coming in. If one after the other we are facing very difficult circumstance, we cannot blame others. What the hell? Why are they doing this to me? No. It is our own. We had created this in the past, and now it is coming one after the other, one after the other it is coming. You cannot say the world is doing it to you. You see, that is very important.
Yes. Yes. Este es un hecho fundamental, ¿no? Aquí, que están aquí. A veces es la mayor dificultad nuestra es lo que hemos hecho en la vida pasada. Nadie hace nada es nuestro, lo que sea que pase, nadie nos hace nada, es una creación propia de cada uno. Y cada circunstancia que viene, una tras otra, tras otra, tras otra, todas son circunstancias que nosotros hemos creado en la vida pasada. El mundo, las personas no nos hacen nada, es nuestra propia creación.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that is the fundamental understanding that is needed before you can turn it around to make it sweet. The bitterness that is there, the circumstance that is bitter and difficult, cannot be made sweet if we just keep on saying, hell, what the hell, why this is happening. You cannot turn it into sweet and bearable and acceptable if you continue to give this adjective to it, you see.
Es fundamental el entendimiento, este entendimiento, antes de poder volver lo amargo, cualquier circunstancia amarga, negativa, dolorosa, antes de poder volverla dulce, es aceptar. Mientras que estás culpando que qué me está pasando, quién me hizo esto, quién me trajo lo otro, mientras que culpas afuera cualquier situación, no vas a poder transformar lo amargo en dulce. No lo vas a poder lograr.
The human energy, the energy within every human being is infinite. Ananta Shakti Vadocho, you see. His home may be bombed and destroyed, you see. And he has to walk to the border, and the energy comes, you see. The energy comes. He doesn't say, on an ordinary day, he'll say, what? I don't have energy to walk to the border, But on that day, the energy comes. On that day, the energy comes.
La energía dentro de cada ser humano es infinita, en todos los seres humanos es infinita. Por ejemplo, si una bomba destruye el hogar de alguien, esta persona debe caminar hasta la frontera. La energía vendrá y caminará hasta la frontera. En un día cualquiera donde no hubiese una bomba, esta persona jamás pensaría que puede caminar hasta la frontera, pero la energía viene y llega a la frontera.
But this is fundamental. This realization, you have to realize that because you had been disagreeable in the past, you have to face the circumstance. You have to face this in this life. This is something that human beings have no understanding, because they have, the majority of the world that lives outside outside India, majority of the world outside India, they are not exposed to this concept of a previous life, you see. And they do not understand this life after life, you see. Whereas somehow the moment you enter the world of India, even if you have not received the Gnani, the grandmothers and grandmothers, they will tell you, my dear, even your grandmother will tell you, my dear little one, please do not do this, do not do anything bad because you will spoil your next life. Even your grandmother will tell you, warn you, please do not do this, you will spoil your next life. See? Any grandmother will tell you that.
Yes.
Mm.
El entendimiento es darse cuenta que fuiste desagradable en tu vida pasada. Y la mayoría de las personas que viven fuera de India no tienen el conocimiento de las vidas pasadas, ¿no? Y que todo es una secuencia de vida tras vida. Entonces, cuando entras al mundo de India, no importa que hayas tomado o no el Gnani, seguramente tu abuela te dirá, no hagas nada malo porque estás arruinando tu próxima vida.
This is how it is, and of course you all, my friends, now understand the fundamental. You all understand the much more than what is written here. You understand much more than what is written here. You not only understand this, but you understand the you understand and know and experience the Amapura. You know who you are, and you know what is all this in front of you. You know what is this body. You know what this body is made up of, and you know how everything is operating. You know. I say this is the difference. You see, you are the enlightened and the awakened one. This is the difference. This is the difference. You are no longer ignorant.
Yes. Es así como es, ¿no? Y ustedes saben mucho más de lo que está escrito acá, del entendimiento, el conocimiento, y que sabemos y tenemos la experiencia del alma pura. Sabiendo de esto y que está hecho, y de qué está hecho este cuerpo y cómo opera, esa es la diferencia. Tener el conocimiento, estar despiertos y no tener hambre o necesidad de la ignorancia.
Yeah, so with this, it's easy for us. Yeah, I see. It is easy for us. It is easy for us to accept that if you and I now face difficult circumstance and situations, we don't suffer them, but because we understand that here it comes because this is how it was in our past life, but we are not going to enter into it. We are not going to become the sufferer. We're not going to try to improve it. We are just going to settle it with equanimity, you see. We are going to be and remain the Amapuras, so Amapura, This is not mine, this is Patricia's, this is Anila's, this is Angelique's, you see, and it will pass like a cloud. It will pass like a cloud. It might pass like a slow cloud, or it might pass like a dark cloud, but it will pass, you see.
Yes, yes.
Mm.
Es fácil para nosotros poder aceptar las diferentes circunstancias y situaciones y no sufrir, porque sabemos que así fue, que esto fue creado en la vida pasada y lo vamos a aceptar, ver, limpiar y resolver con ecuanimidad en el conocimiento de que soy alma pura y que esto no es mío, esto es de Patricia, de Angelique, y pasará. Y esto pasará como una nube liviana o como una nube oscura, pero pasará.
Somebody comes and says, it must be awful for you, right? Somebody, because people can see it. These circumstances, people can see it is awful, that it is terrible what is happening, because they can see it. But they'll say, Patricia, Angelique, this is awful that is happening to you, right, my dear? I'm so sorry this is happening to you. What do you tell them? You play the drama. People, you play the drama. You don't. Depending on who that person is, you can say, you can say, yeah, you can say, yeah, you can say, yeah, it is terrible, it's terrible, it's tough, or you can say, if or you can, if it's your sister or your brother, you can say, no, it's fine, I can handle it. This depends. Play the drama. If it's going to hurt the other person, you can say, no, I'm fine. If the other person is going to feel, it depends on who the other person is. Play the drama. The world is funny, so you should just play the drama. You understand playing the drama?
Yes. Pueden ver, puede ser que algo ocurra, ¿no? Y las personas pueden ver que la circunstancia es horrible y pueden acercarse y decirte, lamento muchísimo que esto te esté sucediendo, es horrible. Y esto puede sucederle a Patricia, a Angelique. Dice, pero nosotros jugamos el drama o actuamos el drama. Entonces podemos contestarle, sí, es horrible, o decirle, si es una persona cercana, le podemos decir, lo puedo manejar esto, pero siempre dependiendo de quién sea la otra persona, sin herir al que viene a decir. Y lo que tenemos que hacer es actuar el drama de la vida. Sabiendo que es el drama de la vida.
Yeah, people like to discuss this, it's horrible, isn't it? It's tough, right? You've been through so much, blah, blah, blah. But you see, everybody eats their dinner and they go to bed. Nobody gives a damn, you see. Nobody gives it. Everybody just go to bed, And under no circumstance in these difficulties that are going on, do blame anybody else. Do not involve them by saying, this person is bad or this person is bad. Do not complain to anyone else about what is going on, you see. to anyone else. In other words, do not blame anyone else. Do not involve these other people by blaming anyone else, you see.
Yes. Las personas opinan, les gusta hablar de lo que está pasando, opinan y después se van, comen y se van a dormir. Y en estas circunstancias que son amargas o difíciles, como son las circunstancias, no culpes o involucres a absolutamente a nadie, a nadie.
If you're walking in a hurry, you see, and something comes in your way, and you're walking on cement and you fall down suddenly and your head hits the cement hard and you get a hard hit on your head, very hard hit, you fall down and you bleed. It's a pretty hard blow, you see. And you get up, you're not angry, you just, you have got nobody to blame, right? Who do you blame? Do you blame that little obstruction that, it's just a little obstruction that came in your way? You can't blame anyone because you were not watching how you were walking, right?
Si caminas apurado, y algo pasa y te interrumpe y vas caminando por el cemento y te caes y por ahí te sangra la cabeza, no te enojas y no culpas a la obstrucción, porque probablemente no estabas mirando por dónde estabas caminando y no culpas a nadie.
But if another person just gives you a push and you fall down, you see, and you sustain the same injury, same injury, you see, then you become so angry. The injury is the same, but you become so angry at that person because you made me fall down. You did this to me, you see. But when there is,
Por ejemplo, si vas caminando y alguien te empuja y te caes y tienes la misma lastimadura que en el ejemplo anterior, tú te levantas y te enojas, culpas por lo que te hizo. Y la lastimadura es exactamente la misma.
The effect is the same. Circumstance, the effect is the same. The effect is the same.
El efecto, la circunstancia, el efecto es el mismo, es exactamente el mismo.
By blaming the other person, you are now you're creating a new karma, charging new karma, you see. Charging new karma. You did this to me, you see. The person is just a nimit of your own karma,
Yes. La circunstancia es la misma, pero ahora que te empujaron, culpas a otro. En realidad, cuando culpas a otro, lo que estás haciendo es cargar karma. Y le dices tú me diste, tú me lastimaste, y el otro simplemente es un nimit, es un instrumento para tu descarga de karma.
So this karma cause and effect has to be understood, you see. Karma, cause and effects has to be understood, karma of dysentery. Karma, whatever happens to the body, you see, it what is happening to your body, whether it is cancer or blood in your bowels, you see, or all of these things, where is it coming from, you see? How did it arise? You know, and these things are effects. How did it happen, you see? Who do you blame, you see? These are effects. Causes have to be understood, you see, and this is this, you know, cause effects. These are all. And why do you have to suffer, you know, and all of these things, you see? And why is this suffering? Why do you have to suffer, and why this suffering has this effect, you see? This can be seen in awareness, and this is more and more this awareness. Dada takes us to the level of the awareness, you know, and all of these things is this can begins by first the understanding, you see, which is given here, you see. That is what appears difficult and bitter can be turned to be acceptable and sweet.
Yes. Yes. El karma, causa y efecto, debe de ser entendido. Lo que pasa al cuerpo, cualquier cosa que sea, cáncer, problemas de sangre, cualquier cosa, ver cómo surgió. Y estos son efectos, no se puede culpar a nadie. Las causas deben de ser entendidas. Y porque el sufrimiento es el efecto de la causa, pero puede ser visto también con el conocimiento y ver todo esto y comenzar y entender con entendimiento de cómo lo amargo y lo difícil puede volverse aceptable y dulce.
And the most important thing that we read today with reference to the circumstance is that those difficult circumstances, or very problematic circumstances, which every human being is going to face and is going to arise, they cannot be manipulated, or they cannot be corrected, or they cannot be they cannot be straightened. You yourself have to, the person has to straighten out, the one has to straighten out, don't mess with them. You straighten out, and the way you straighten out is, and this, you straighten out yourself, and that means you straighten out yourself means begin to accept the fact that these are mine, this is how it is, for me. It's not my wife or my family, or these people are not taking care of me, or my doctor is bad, or my people who take care of me are not taking care of me, etc. Do not complain. You see, this is the whole problem. Human beings end up doing that. Do not complaining.
Yes. Y lo más importante es en esas difíciles circunstancias, que estas difíciles circunstancias no pueden ser corregidas, no pueden ser enderezadas, no pueden ser manipuladas. Lo único que puedes hacer es enderezarte a ti mismo. Tú enderezate a ti mismo. ¿Y cómo es esto? Y es aceptando, acepta el efecto, acepta que esto es mío y es así para mí. No es tu esposa, no son tus hijos, no son los doctores que no se hacen cargo de vos, que no te cuidan. No culpes a nadie. Esto es así y es tuyo. Enderezate a ti.
This is, I'll give you a simple example. This is so interesting. Our Dada, our dear Dada, okay? Our dear Dada, he used to drink tea, he used to drink a lot of tea. And the tea would be literally dark brown tea, very, very strong tea. Boil, very, a lot of milk, and about 6 to 7 big spoons of sugar in it, very sweet. Okay, lot of sugar in it. That is how he would like his tea, okay? And so, most new ladies who make tea don't make those kind of teas for, they don't know. So in other homes, when they give him tea or something, if the tea is not been made by Niruma, inside, if Dada has been served a cup of tea, Dada would drink this little bit of tea like this. And then he would know there is not enough sugar. He would not ask for the sugar, you see. But he will say, he will silently say, Dada, Dada, he will say, Dada, he will say, Dada. There is not enough sugar in it. Please add some sugar inside. Please add some sugar in this tea. And then he would drink inside. He silently say, Dada, add some more sugar, and then he would drink the rest of the tea. He'll silently.
Comparte un ejemplo de Dada. Dice que tomaba el té muy oscuro, marrón oscuro, le ponía mucha leche y como 6 o 7 cucharadas de azúcar. Y así le gustaba tomar el té a Dada. Y a veces había mujeres que no preparaban el té así, lo invitaban y le servían el té. Y él lo tomaba y no tenía tanta azúcar. Y decía, Dada, por favor endulza el té, pon más azúcar en mi té, endulza mi té. Y se lo tomaba.
He will just, whatever he think is lacking, he will just ask his Dada and say, Dada, andar khand nakhi do. He said, Dada, add some sugar in it, and the problem is over. Nobody would know what's going on.
Dada solo pedía, Dadashri pedía cuando el té no tenía suficiente azúcar, lo tomaba y decía, por favor, Dada, agrega un poco de azúcar en él. Y absolutamente nadie se enteraba de lo que estaba sucediendo. Él solamente le pedía a Dada que lo endulce.
Vishuddhatma Bhagavan, let's take a break and then we come back. 10 minutes.
Vamos a tomar un recreo y en 10 minutos volvemos. Jai Sachidanand, yes.
Jai Sachidanand, thank you. Thank you, my dear.
Saiyog.
Can you hear me? I'm sorry about that for a little delay there. Can you hear me, Patricia?
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm sorry about the delay. Shall we continue?
Yes.
All right.
¿Estamos listos para continuar?
Is there anybody wants to say anything about what?
Yes.
Yes. Does anybody want to say anything about what we read so far?
Yes, there is somebody who said yes. ¿Quién dijo a quién comparta?
Mm-hmm. Yes. And who is that?
¿Quién quiere compartir algo o preguntar algo?
Yo.
Hi,
Amor,
Hi, how are you? How
Jai
are you, Shuddha?
Sachidanand. Jai Sachidanand.
Sachidanand.
Yeah.
Jai Sachidanand.
Mm-hmm.
Last time we had satsang
Mm-hmm.
with Shirish.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about that we don't go faster in our way to the pure soul because we don't understand the bliss of the self. So I would like you to elaborate some because in this life we have all our sensors here and we have to go somewhere where we are not. We have to learn how to. So, what is the bliss of the self?
traducilo, por favor, que esa hermosa pregunta.
La otra vez con Shirish hablábamos que no progresábamos más rápido en el camino al alma pura porque no entendíamos bien qué es la dicha del alma pura. Entonces quería que nos explique, que nos hable un poco de eso, qué es la dicha del alma pura.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Eso es.
mm-hmm. Really, fundamentally, Dada has given us everything. Dada has not kept anything behind or with him. If we understand what Dadashri has given us, then really the progress is very fast, and the bliss is here and now. Yeah. Patricia?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Dada nos dio absolutamente todo. No se quedó con nada, no dejó nada escondido, no se quedó con nada él. Nos dio absolutamente todo. Y si
Yeah.
podemos entender, si tenemos el conocimiento de lo que nos dio, entonces tendríamos la dicha.
Yeah. It is the intellect that slows everything down.
Es el intelecto lo que arroja todo.
Yeah. The intellect teases and teases and teases and slows it down.
Y el intelecto como que molesta, empuja, pincha y así
Se burla.
se burla,
burla.
gracias,
Yeah.
se burla y así cae todo.
Intellect
Sí, sí.
interferes, you see.
Ok, el
Yeah.
intelecto interfiere.
Yeah, this is very simple. Yo so Amapura, this is all relative. Scientific circumstantial evidence is unfolding in front of me, and I do not have to do anything. Only the file will come in front of me, and I do not have to do anything with the file. Scientific circumstantial evidence will give me the inspiration to settle it with equanimity, and that's it. My bliss is there always, you see. So this is as simple as it is, you see.
Es muy simple, ¿no? El intelecto va a estar interfiriendo constantemente, pero es muy simple. Y es estar en el conocimiento de que yo soy alma pura, que todo lo que sucede es el despliegue de las evidencias científicas circunstancial, que cada persona que viene a mí es un archivo y que las evidencias científicas circunstanciales me darán la inspiración para resolver ese archivo con ecuanimidad. Y entonces la dicha está allí.
And to this, the most fundamental, my bliss is here and now, and to understand this bliss, one has to understand one has to understand one's state, that whatever I'm trying to attain, whatever that I'm trying to be is already here and now. You see, already it has been attained. In other words, the self becomes what one visions, what one envisions. That is the nature of the self. I am blissful. This is my state, you see. I am nothing but blissful, you see. Whatever and to try to be what I am not is where I lose my blissful state. I am, to try to be what I am not is where I lose my bliss, you see. I am what I am, you see. I am what I am. You see, to try to enter into Damian is where I lose my bliss, you see. Damian is under the authority of another energy, you see. So that,
Yes.
so I'm the
Yes.
I'm the knower of Damian. I am the knower of Damian.
Yes. Lo más importante es mi dicha y entender mi dicha. Y cuando quiero algo o que todo lo que quiero ser esto, ya tenemos todo para estar en la dicha. Pero esto es lo que nos saca de la dicha. Si entendemos que yo soy alma pura, mi ser es alma pura, mi ser es la dicha infinita, ahí está la dicha, pero la pierdo cuando yo quiero ser algo o quiero tener algo. Entrar en Damian es perder la dicha. Entrar en Damian y es entender que Damian está bajo la autoridad de otras energías. Yo soy el conocedor de Damian y de lo que le sucede a Damian.
It is not fast.
Yes.
Yeah, it is not fast. It is not slow. It is simply here and now. Yes, it is. It is for what is here and now. There is what is for what is that which is realized. There is neither the fast nor slow. It is not. It is realized. It's not something for the future. It is not something that is going to come. It is here and now. This is who you are. You have attained this. It is not something that's going to happen. So it's not so. It's not something that is going to come. So if you're going to wait for it to come, it's never going to happen because it has already happened. You see, this is who you are. So Amapura is not something that's going to happen in future. You have to understand the experience of the self, you see. Yeah, that is the distinct from any experience of Damian. You see.
But
Yes.
how can we understand it?
Por favor, déjame traducir esto y después sigue vos. Perdón. No es lo que va a suceder, es aquí ahora que ya somos alma pura. El tránsito no es ni rápido ni lento y no vendrá. Ya lo tienes. Si esperas, no vendrá. No es algo que va a suceder en el futuro. Esto ya soy, ya lo obtuvimos, ya somos esto. Y está más allá de cualquier pensamiento. Sí, Damián, gracias y perdone.
Practically, when I am with the Gnani, I'm very happy. I don't need anymore when I am close to the Gnani. But I come back to my home and still want to buy a new car, for example, or I still want to, I don't know, increase my salary or take care of my kids. And why is that? If I would understand it better, I won't have those desires.
No, that's got nothing to do with who you are. You see, it is being with the Gnani and feeling good and being away from the Gnani and having those desires are both belong to the relative. This is not who you are. You are aware. You are knower of you. Your experience is beyond both of those, and that is the one who knows that. That is who you are. You say you feel good about being around Gnani. Who feels good being good about Gnani? And that is who you are. Being good in such, feeling good in satsang is not the experience of the self. Feeling great in satsang is not the experience of the self. Knowing, the knower of that is the experience of the self. This is all relative and discharge. All of these beautiful feelings that happen in satsang is not the experience of the self. Knowing that the knower of that is the self.
Okay.
So
sometimes I understand very clearly that I am eternal. So everything loses importance. That's what I am experiencing now, that I am eternal. And that I feel very clear, but it's only that.
No,
please. Shuddha dice que cuando Damián está con el Nani siente que está todo bien y no tiene ningún deseo, ninguna necesidad. Pero cuando vuelve quiere cambiar el auto, quiere mejorar su salario, quiere que sus hijos estén bien. Entonces Shuddha le contesta que los dos están allí. Pero esa no es la experiencia del ser, ninguna de las dos. Ahí está Damián, que se siente bien con el Gnani, y también cuando vuelve y quiere más salario, quiere estar con los hijos. Pero esa no es la experiencia del ser. La experiencia del ser es ser el conocedor de Damián cuando está con el Gnani, o Damián cuando está trabajando, cuando Damián se está comprando un auto. El conocedor, es el ser. Entonces Damián dice que ahora el tener presente y claro que es un ser eterno, eso lo clarifica. Y ahora viene la respuesta de Shuddha. Thank you, sorry.
The knower is the self. The knower is invisible, and the knower does not have feelings. The knower knows all feelings. The knower knows all feelings. The knower knows the subtlest feelings, and the knower knows all the subtlest changes in the feelings. You see, you know.
Yes.
The knower
El
knows the subtlest changes in the desires and the plans.
el conocedor es el ser. El conocedor es invisible y no tiene sentimientos, pero el conocedor conoce todos los sentimientos y los más sutiles cambios de sentimientos, y conoce los deseos y conoce los planes.
The knower is beyond any effects, does not get affected at all. The knower is Vetarag, does not get attached nor has any aversions, you see. Yes, these are stages, which is fine. These are stages, which is fine. You know. So, these are stages. These are stages, and you know, there's this wanting this and wanting that are discharging intentions, you know, wanting a new car, or why I still wanting this, and these are all discharging, wanting to be around the Gnani and missing the Gnani and all of those things. But who are you? You know, who are you? Who am I? What is your goal? What is it that you really want? What is it that you really want?
Yes. El conocedor está más allá de todo efecto. Es el conocedor de los efectos y está más allá de todo efecto. El conocedor es Vitarai, sin apego, sin aversión. Y todo lo que sucede son estados. Y está bien, queriendo esto o lo otro, son solo descarga de intenciones. Pero ¿quién eres tú? ¿Quién soy yo? ¿Cuál es mi meta?
Yeah.
¿Qué quieres realmente?
And these are, if they are in the part of the merit karma effects of Damian, they will automatically come. A good car, beautiful children who take care, grow up and take care of Damian, love Damian when Damian is old, automatically they will be around for Damian, you see. This is all part of the discharge of Damian, you see. The desires of Damian and the intentions of Damian, you know.
Estas cosas que surgen, el auto, los hijos, ¿no? Todo esto forma parte del karma de mérito, el karma de efectos de Damián, el auto, los hijos, y es lo que está sucediendo, y vas a tener el auto y tus hijos van a crecer y van a estar bien y te van a cuidar y te van a amar y van a estar alrededor tuyo cuando seas viejito, van a estar para Damián. Y esto es parte de la descarga de Damián. Y los deseos y las intenciones son de Damián.
The knower of the desires and the denials of Damian is the blissful one. The knower knows, you see. That one is blissful, always blissful. That one, the knower, has no desires or denials, you see.
El conocedor conoce todos los deseos y rechazos de Damián, y el conocedor es el dichoso, el ser dichoso, y el conocedor no desea ni rechaza absolutamente nada.
Imagine this is pure gold. Imagine that what I'm holding in my hand is pure gold. And I dip it in very thick, hot, very hot, thick, dark chocolate, which is hot, you see. Dark chocolate. And it is kind of hot, and you know, I'm stirring it with it, and I lift it up, you see. I lift it up, you know, and I lift it and I turn it around. This, you will not be able to see the gold, you see. You will not be able to see the gold. It will be all covered with dark black chocolate, thick dark black chocolate. And then when that chocolate becomes cold, it will get attached to the gold.
Yes. Imaginemos que esta cuchara es de oro puro, y la coloco adentro donde hay chocolate muy, muy caliente, chocolate oscuro, marrón, muy, muy caliente. Y luego la levanto, la giro y no podré ver el oro. Y luego solo veré el chocolate. Y luego el chocolate se enfría y se queda pegado a la cuchara.
And then after a while, I break the chocolate, you know, keep on breaking it. But you know, if over time, as the chocolate fragments break, you see, from little fragments keep breaking, you know, little parts of the gold will start showing up, you see.
Luego de un momento, cuando el chocolate se enfría y queda pegado a la cuchara, empiezo a golpearla. La voy golpeando y a la medida que la golpeo van a caer fragmentos de chocolate. Cuando esos fragmentos caigan, voy a poder ver el oro.
You see. And so it is in knowing infinite objects, in knowing infinite objects, in life, knowing infinite situations of life arises, you see. And amidst all of them, I am completely and absolutely pure.
Pure.
Mhm. Just like this gold, you see. And these chocolate pieces fall off, you see. અનંત જ્ઞેયોને જાણવામાં પરિણમેલી અનંતી અવસ્થાઓમાં હું સંપૂર્ણ શુદ્ધ છું, સર્વાંગ શુદ્ધ છું. You see, this is who I am. I am the gold. I'm not the chocolate, you see, that sticks. You see, I am the pure one, you see. I am the pure one, you know. You see, this is how Dada the Dada showed us the pure one that is inside there, not the chocolate that sticks to us, you see. These are these intentions. This is what I want. This is these experiences. This is what I want. This is who I am. This is what's happening to me. This is what I want. This is what I want. This is, This pure one is who I am. This is who I am. Everything else I am not.
El conocedor infinito de los objetos en la vida, ¿no? El conocedor de infinitas situaciones que surgen. Yo soy completa y absolutamente puro, como el oro. No soy el chocolate. Esto es lo que yo soy, el oro, absolutamente puro, no el chocolate. Así Dada nos mostró el oro y no el chocolate. El chocolate son las intenciones. Esto es lo que quiero y esas son las intenciones. Yo soy el absolutamente puro.
This Lepaiman Bhavo, this lovely children, you see, this daughter and the son, or they are not mine, they're Damians, you see. This house, this lovely car, these are all
Chocolate.
chocolate. You know.
Okay, what I get from this is that it's here now, and I have to understand.
Yes.
The only thing I understand now is that I am eternal. That I see very clear. I have to deepen to understand more things. That's
As long
what I
as
get
you
from
don't,
your answer.
as long as you stick to this sentence, this is a most powerful sentence. Ananta, it's in association with the sentence is this Ananta Gneyone Janavama Parinameli Ananti Avasthaoma. In knowing infinite objects, arise infinite situations, and amidst all of them, I am completely pure and Sampurna Shuddha Chu, Sarvanga Shuddha Chu. I am completely pure and absolutely pure. In other words, in knowing infinite situation, in knowing infinite objects, you see, arise infinite situations, you see. And amidst all of them, I am completely and totally pure. The purity, my friend Damian, is inviolate as a Mahatma. If you do not lose your purity, you are home. If you lose your purity, you have to climb the mountain again. You will say, oh, you slip, you become Damian, and then you say, oh, I lose my bliss. I don't know, I have to do it, I don't feel it. Purity is your base. This gold is your base. Yeah, this gold is your base. If you lose your purity, you are out. You become a Graham or a Gonzalo or a Damian, and then you say, I don't feel it. I don't feel anything. I don't, I don't feel the Gnan. Well, fundamental to this is your Gnan, and without Gnan, you back to you're back to your basics again. This Agna is your Gnan. That's why you have to you say Yosamapura is your base. You say. And you just by saying, what do I mean when I say Samapura? Remember the spoon, the gold, and remember the chocolate. And you say all of this chocolate and the flakes. Hey, lepaiman bhav. Hey, none of that. You say, in all of this that is happening around me, I'm pure. I'm pure gold. I'm as pure as gold. What do you mean as pure as gold? That means gold is where nothing sticks. Nothing sticks to gold. Gold remains gold. Everything else kind of mixes up. Gold cannot mix. You see? Gold remains gold. And
Yes.
then
Please, let me. It's bueno, Damián dice que si lo que le queda claro es que él es eterno y eso es lo que lo mantiene conectado. Entonces Shuddha dice, este amoroso hijo no es mío, es de Damián. Este auto es como el chocolate, es la cuchara. Tampoco soy el auto. Entonces, tanto más te apegues, es como que te perdés. Por eso la frase, el conocedor de infinitos objetos, el conocedor de infinitas situaciones que surgen. Y en todo esto yo soy el ser absolutamente puro. Y la pureza es inviolable. Si pierdes la pureza, tendrás que volver a subir por la montaña. La pureza, si pierdes la pureza, estás afuera. Yo soy la pureza, el alma, y es como el alma pura es oro. El Gnan es fundamental y las agnas son mi Gnan y mi base. ¿No? El alma pura es el oro y yo soy puro como el oro y el oro no se mezcla.
You see this. If you don't, Dada has given us everything. If we kind of neglect Dada in terms of not, if we don't use Dada, then you cannot blame Dada. If you do not use Dada, if you do not use his agnas is the fundamental way you're going to move forward, And if you neglect the agna of Dada and then say, I don't feel it, I don't experience the bliss, I don't understand bliss, then you cannot move forward, my friend, You cannot move forward, and that means then again you're saying it's slow. Well, it's going to be slow. There's no other way. The fundamental way is the other takes you up to the mountain, on top of the mountain, and you're going back down to the mountain, and then you're saying, how do I get up to the mountain? The other says, come with me with the agnas only, or with my sentences, you see, where I've taken you with me. That is how it is, my friends. Exactly.
Yes.
That. Yeah. Okay.
Dada nos dio absolutamente todo y si no usamos a Dada, no usamos el conocimiento de Dada, no usamos sus agnas, entonces no estamos perdiendo todo lo que nos dio. Entonces no entiendo la dicha. Si no entiendes la dicha no podrás moverte. El camino no es lento ni rápido. Dada ya nos elevó al pico de la montaña. Si nosotros salimos de ahí, es estar en las 5 agnas.
In agnas, there is nowhere to go except you're there. In agnas,
Y con las agnas no hay que ir a ningún lado, están allí ya.
There's nowhere to go.
But Shuddha, there's no way to leave this understanding. We already understood.
Oh, you think you understand? Then that means you're there.
Yeah. But there are levels of understanding.
No, there is
So
no level of understanding in Agnas. You're there.
we are there.
You're there. Samapura, there's nothing. There is no level of understanding in Samapura. Shuddha Chu. Is there a level of understanding in Samapura in terms of this? The purity? The purity, is there a level of understanding in terms of the purity? The purity has to be experienced. And hopefully this concrete example of the gold and the chocolate will help. Okay? Everything is chocolate. Dark chocolate. Sometimes it's so dark that you can't see the gold. It's so dark that you get overcome by the beauty of the flesh over it. It's such heavy chocolate that you just, wow, what a beautiful woman. You don't see the gold. Yes, yeah, Gonzalo, sorry, I know. Yeah, I'll come to Gabi also. All right, yes, yeah,
Sorry.
okay, yeah, go on, sorry.
Please.
Yes,
Acá el tema es estar, las acnas es lo central. Entonces, Damián pregunta sobre los niveles, dice como que tiene algún nivel de entendimiento. Entonces Shuddha le dice, piensas que lo tienes, pero no hay nivel de entendimiento en las acnas. Están allí, yo soy alma pura, no hay nivel en eso, soy alma pura. La pureza es experimentar esto, ¿no? Es como el ejemplo de la cuchara de oro y el chocolate oscuro. El chocolate tapa el oro, no ves el oro, el chocolate es pesado. El chocolate también es decir, oh, qué hermosa mujer, pero no estás viendo el oro. Todas esas son cosas de Damián.
Damian, my friend, we will continue this conversation, not a problem, we'll continue, okay? Yeah, until we just get it into it, right? Just right. Okay, Gabi will come to you next, but, let's take Gonzalo, okay, my dear? Yeah, yes, Gonzalo. Yeah, just a minute, Gabi. Gonzalo, yes, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Gonzalo.
Gracias, Sudha. El Gnani nos dice que científicamente observamos y técnicamente dividimos. Entonces, quería hacerle la consulta en relación al deseo de Damián, que creo que nos pasa a todos. ¿Es el relativo quien divide?
¿Podrías repetir la pregunta porque me perdí? El Gnani dice que científicamente
Observamos y técnicamente dividimos, ¿no es cierto?
Ajá.
Es algo que dice como varias veces se lo he escuchado. Ahora, la consulta es si es que la división la hace el relativo.
Si la
hace el relativo. Ante
los
deseos, por ejemplo. Claro,
la división la hace el relativo. Okay. Gracias. His question is, he's sharing that the Gnani says that the observer, science observers sees, and technically it divides. And the question is, the division is the relative. Does the division?
Yeah, forget about the technical part, okay? That is this, it's not part of the 5 agnas, okay? He has added the 6th one as a technical. Scientific is a separation of scientific is 5 agnas. All right. Technical, he has added as a technically add that as pratikraman is the technical. Okay. It is his is Gnani's addition of the pratikraman into this science. Okay. So forget about that. I'm sticking to Dada's 5 agnas. Okay. In the Dada's 5 agnas is the science of the 5 agnas. Okay. All right. So when the Gnani says scientifically scientifically keep separate, and then technically make Gonzalo do pratikraman, so that is the Gnani's technique. Okay. All right. Okay. Here Shuddha sticks to 5 agnas. All right. Science only. All right.
Solo observar.
Not as observer, not observer only, 5 agnas. 5 agnas first, 5 agnas. Amapura, you see, 5 agnas. Amapura, scientific circumstantial evidence, and then file, relative, only file, and then only file has to be settled with equanimity. That's it, nothing else.
Ok. La pregunta de Gonzalo responde Shuddha que esta forma es una forma que tiene el Gnani de explicar que te olvides de lo técnico, porque son las 5 agnas, y después, estando en las 5 agnas, haces practikraman. Esta es la forma que tiene el Gnani de explicar. Ahora, Shuddha se adhiere a la palabra de Dada, que son las 5 agnas. Y no se trata del observador, son las 5 agnas. Lo primero, ¿no? Soy alma pura, evidencias científicas circunstanciales, archivo, que es lo relativo, y el relativo también limpia con ecuanimidad.
You understand? Yes.
¿Entendiste, Gonzalo?
Sí, Shuddha. Gracias.
Okay, all right. Yeah, that's the Gnani has added this scientific and technical. It is a term, specific term of our Gnani Deepak Bhai. You see, scientific and technical. It is not of Dadashri. All right. Okay. All right.
Esto no es una forma de explicar de Gnani, de científico y técnico. Es su forma de explicar, no es la palabra exacta de Dada.
Yeah, our Gnani Deepak Bhai is very fond of pratikraman, but leave that aside. I am focusing on 5 agnas as the main base that allows Mahatmas to rise higher, in this Vignan science. Okay.
El Gnani es como le da mucha importancia al practikraman, ¿no? Pero la gran base son las 5 agnas, que es lo que nos permite elevarnos.
I'm not saying pratikraman is not important, but the pratikraman comes if you miss 5 agnas. Pratikraman comes in if you get out, if you missed 5 agnas, then pratikraman obviously comes in,
El practikraman no, Shuddha de ninguna manera dice que el practikraman no. Dice que si vos te perdés las 5 agnas, entonces tenés que hacer practikraman. El practikraman es importante, pero se usa cuando salís de las 5 agnas.
Okay. All right, my friend. Yeah, now let's go to Gabi. Yes, my dear. Okay.
Yo hice chitando en Shuddha, sí, es
Yes.
cortito, porque cuando Damián hace la pregunta y comienza diciendo de que uno no llega a la velocidad que tiene que llegar en esto de la iluminación, o que tarda, y que, bueno, Shuddha al final lo acaba de contestar recién, de que no hay tiempo en este avance. Pero en una oportunidad leí en un escrito de Dada que esto era muy simple, que era más simple de lo que nada de lo que hubiéramos tenido como práctica, esta necesidad que surge en el archivo 1 de querer el avance, ¿cuál es la raíz que se desenvuelve ahí?
Sí. Gaby's question is about what that Damian said about and you explain it about this is going slow or not, and there is no time. But she read or heard someone that said that it's simple, very simple, that the need of file 1 is to go on, to lift, and these needs, which is the root of this need we have?
Need? You mean the desires of file 1?
Need. Yes. Yes.
Okay, fine.
Which
So
is the root of this desire?
What is the root of desires? The root of desires is to enjoy the world, right? File 1 still wants both. You see, file 1 wants to enjoy the world, and this is the thing. He still finds the world pleasant, you see. And that's all right, you see. And then there are other files who says now I find that I have had enough in this world. So there are these files, you see. So there are all kinds of levels, you see. A young person will say, I want this, I want this, I want this. But it's nothing called young or old. Young or old is a relative word, word. You see, it is actually what appears young today, is actually, depends on the number of human births. It may be very, very old, has had many lives, and what appears very old may be very few lives, human births only. So we do not know how many human experiences that young or old person has had. Sorry, go on.
Yes. La raíz de esto, Gaby, es que allí lo que existe es el deseo de disfrutar el mundo. En realidad es el archivo 1, el que todavía quiere disfrutar el mundo y lo encuentra placentero. Y está bien. Ahora encontrás esto. Pero también hay personas que dicen, bueno, yo ya tuve suficiente de esto, ¿no? Y también va a haber gente joven o niños que van a decir, quiero esto, quiero lo otro. Pero el joven es relativo, porque hay que ver cuál es la experiencia de cantidad de vida que tuvo esta persona en su evolución. Y bueno, y de repente, y tiene que ver con la experiencia de estas vidas, lo que quiere y lo que no quiere, ¿no?
Yeah, a person has evolved life after life, wanting this and wanting this and wanting this and tasting this and wanting this and wanting that. And if it has not been fulfilled in this life, he fulfills it in next life, and then he next life and next life. And so this goes on and on until, even after meeting the Gnani, they wonder about, they wonder, well, I wonder what it is like. I would like to taste it, you see. And Dadashri says, before going to moksha, all your desires will be fulfilled.
Wow.
You see, so whatever you want, get it over with,
Eh, las personas evolucionamos queriendo esto, aquello, lo otro, queriendo probar, y así continuamente, no solamente en una vida, sino vida tras vida. Y Dada dice, antes de ir a moksha, todos tus deseos se cumplirán.
Root of human desire is ignorance. You see, you asking for what is the root of human desire is ignorance. So ignorance leads to the belief that I am this body. The body has desire. The body has desire, really. Amapura. Amapura. Is infinitely blissful. It ananta sukhdam evo paramatma cho. I am infinite time, infinitely blissful. You see, in other words, I am the source of all bliss. I am the source of all bliss. You see, not knowing that all of this is arising from me, I am going out searching for my bliss in a body. You know, I not knowing it's in me, I am going out searching for bliss in a body or pleasure in a body or in a thing outside me. So the root of desire is ignorance, my dear. You see.
La raíz de los deseos humanos es la ignorancia. Es el cuerpo el que desea. Alma pura es infinita dicha. Y yo soy infinita dicha, yo soy la fuente de toda dicha. Y así todo vamos a buscar dicha en otro cuerpo. Vamos a buscar dicha fuera de nuestro ser.
Did you say icha? It's a dicha?
Dicha, the bliss, dicha.
Oh,
Yes.
oh, yeah, okay, because it sounds like icha, which is icha is desire in us, in our Gujarati. Icha.
No,
Yes. Okay.
Vos a
Yeah.
ti.
Okay, all right. Okay, all right. Yeah. Okay. Very interesting. But you see, this is the thing. We know this theoretically, and it has to become our experience, you see. It has to become our experience. It has begun within all of us, you see. I am so blissful. I am so blissful that, in fact, that has begun. The Lord, the Lord God, the Lord, the fully enlightened Lord is so blissful. The Lord up there is so blissful, and his 1/8 bliss has begun within each one of us. 1/8. And 1/8 bliss, 1/8 component of bliss has begun within each one of us Mahatmas, you see. That is why no matter what happens to the world, the Mahatmas will not be shaken up. Even the world can have a tsunami or an earthquake or bombs or anything, Mahatmas will remain stable, you see. Mahatmas will not be affected. You see. So this has begun within Mahatmas, you see. This is a guarantee of Mahatmas, you see. Guarantee of Dada.
Es la dicha, el sentirse dichoso es nuestra experiencia, ¿no? Y sentir la dicha, y somos como el Lord, completamente y absolutamente iluminado. Y esto ha comenzado en todos los Mahatmas. Comenzó con un octavo, pero ya está en todos los Mahatmas. Por eso, no importa lo que suceda, todos los Mahatmas permanecen estables. Y esto fue garantizado por Dada.
Absolutely. They won. And you see, that is how powerful the Gnan Vidhi of Dada is. You see, it is not just words. This process has begun. This blissful experience has begun within each one of us. You see, we may discuss it in satsang, but its exact experience will happen when a bomb is released, like it has been released for the people in Ukraine. You see, those people experience it, but like if it is released anywhere around in your city, then you will know it doesn't shake you up. It doesn't. You enter in the cave of your Amapura. You enter into the cave of your Amapura.
Yes. Así de poderoso es el Nan de Dada. Podríamos discutir esto de la dicha en satsang, pero realmente es entrar en el espacio del alma pura, de ser conocedor, y que esto no te está sucediendo a ti. Incluso si estuviéramos en Ucrania, donde las bombas se están reventando en las casas.
You understand? So, you understand, Gavi? Gavi, you understand?
Yes, yes, sí.
Yeah,
O sea,
yeah.
nos quedamos tranquilos solo con saber de que cada cosa que sucede es algo de menos que tenemos como carga encima, en el fondo. Es como relajarse por la vida y estar en nuestros 5 agnas y recordar quiénes somos solamente. Y tomar las cosas como vienen. Lo que pasa es que los occidentales tan catolizados, siempre los archivos nuestros están queriendo ser mejores de lo que son. Entonces, es lo que cuesta superar. Es como el deseo de querer ser mejor. Pero ahora ya no hay nada que desear. Somos alma pura.
Whatever is going to happen, it's because it had to happen. The evidence, there is no more than 5 agnas, and this is maybe it comes from the Catholic way who teach us to improve continuously.
Let me show you. Dada is carrying the cross. You see the cross with Dada?
¿Le vieron a Dada cargando la cruz, esa imagen? No.
No, in my Dada here.
Oh.
You don't see it?
No.
Maybe. Oh, no, you don't see it? Okay, I will enlarge it. I'll enlarge it.
Acá está el Dada de Shuddha tiene una cruz.
Okay, now I'll show you. No.
Va a agrandar para poder ver.
All right, anyway, it's just an artificial light, that's all, okay? All right, Shuddhatma.
Es luz artificial, sí.
Just an artificial light here. You see, artificial light here, that's it. See, there, and in his heart.
Y ahí está, que cae en su
in his
corazón.
heart, yeah, for the people of Ukraine. All right, okay, Shuddhatma Bhagavan. All right, okay, yeah. Yeah, right, okay. Vishuddhatma Bhagavan, highest namaskars to all of you, with a lot of love from Dada within, to all of you, and let me see here.
Los más elevados namaskari con todo el amor de Dada
okay.
para todos.
Yeah, and yes, highest namaskars. Jai
Jai
Sachidanand.
Sachidanand
Jai
Sudha.
Sachidanand, highest namaskar.
Gracias, Pati.
Yeah,
Jai
Gracias,
Sachidanand.
Jai Sachidanand and
Sachidanand.
yeah,
Gracias a todos.
Gonzalo is driving. Yes, Jai Sachidanand. Huh? Jai Sachidanand. Jai Sachidanand to all. Yeah. Jai Sachidanand. Jai Sachidanand. Jai Sachidanand.
Jai Sachidanand a todos, gracias.